This Ukrainian dashcam captures one of the highest resolution highway ghost encounters I have ever seen. Watch this part and tell me what is being said here if possible. I would really like to have a legitimate translation of this potentially supernatural message. The driver speeds off after she falls back and disappears, and does not stop until they are back to civilization. This professional quality of this video makes me wonder if this is from a European movie or television show. If not, it almost looks like a well-constructed hologram. I could find no other source for this video, so be sure to let me know if this is amateur footage or something from mainstream media. Have you seen the horror movie A Savannah Haunting? Kalani ghost hunter stayed inside the home that this horror film is based on and was filmed in. Check the place out. While live streaming their stay, the Instagrammer captured this image, which they think is a little girl ghost. Do you see it? Although I didn't catch the live stream, some in the comments did, and they insist they saw the ghost girl move. Almost everyone in the comments sees it, but I can hardly make it out. Still, I don't doubt this place is haunted. It looks like the real deal. A ghost hunting YouTube channel called Spartan Hunters 2 explores the narrow stone corridors of the old Paulding County Jail in Ohio for any signs of the afterlife. As soon as they turn the corner, they hear something that sends shivers down my spine.
Did you hear that?
What was that?
Wow.
An anguished scream cries out from deep within the jail complex, which I'm sure most of you heard, but did you hear the creepy laughter that follows the scream? Listen really closely and you can make out the faint echoes of laughter bouncing off the walls. It happens right after he says, "Did you hear that?"
Did you hear that?
Look out the window between the blinds to see what Lori Smith claims she sees every night, the fearsome cryptid known only as the Dog Man. Lori's fearless cat always looks out the window when it comes around, ready to take the Dog Man head on, unafraid to stare back into its glowing yellow eyes. Alright, I will admit that I was 100% ready to disprove this video. I knew that this was just the mirror image of the cat's eyes reflecting back due to a weird camera angle, but then I got to this part at 1 minute and 55 seconds and knew I was wrong. Watch very closely. She gets the cat's attention. The cat's head turns.
Kiki, come here, Kiki girl.
1 second later, at 1 minute and 56 seconds, the cat is looking the other way, and yet the eye remains staring straight ahead. This footage is terrifying to any cyclist on the road. Published in April of 2022, Cycling Mikey writes, "The footage was given to me by a subscriber who asked me to make the video available. In case anyone knows this man and is willing to give his details." He had videoed the driver using his mobile phone, and the driver took exception to that. Captured at around 10:30 p.m. in July of 2021, the footage shows a cyclist riding as fast as he can from the car in question. He is calling out to any passers-by to call the police.
"Help me! Hold it to me! Hold it to me! Help me! Help me!"
The car is clearly chasing him. It even drives up on the sidewalk at one point as the cyclist tries to escape. The cyclist luckily eventually loses the driver, pulls into a driveway and drops his bike to the ground. Commenters call this outrageous and criminal behavior, while at least one commenter was able to capture the license plate number. Was it enough to find the culprit, or does he have dodgy plates? Sadly, I was never able to find out. A YouTuber named Isaac Telford gathers a group of friends with one goal in mind.
We're exploring an abandoned house.
Haunted or not, they are certain they will be able to go exploring the house without a problem. As they laugh and joke their way from room to room, they start to get the feeling that this house might not be so abandoned after all.
Dude, there's a bed.
Is it made? Yo, there's a bed.
Like pillows and everything. Yeah, hold on, guys.
Abandoned houses don't tend to have perfectly made beds, clothing items are randomly discarded, and create an impression that someone has been staying here for some time.
We should probably.
Hey, let's go downstairs.
Yeah, let's get up.
Just trying to talk to a ghost, alright?
This is the basement, guys. We're gonna go down in it. Alright, let's go, boys.
It looks like mostly random clutter, but seriously, somebody please tell me what's up with the huge pile of shoes. There are shoes of all different sizes, men's and women's, an odd collection to have. It's like they're being kept as trophies. Soon they leave the house and want to go exploring an abandoned nearby prison instead. They pull up to the haunted place and are about to go inside when something bizarre happens.
Okay, hold on. We have a car. Dude, there's never been a car on this road. Hey, maybe we just get sure we can don't reach.
Oh, are they flashing at it?
Isaac makes a turn and quickly shuts off his headlights.
Oh my. Dude, I think they saw us. You want to turn? Okay, we're gonna take off.
They wait in the darkness and eventually the car passes. It's late at night by now, and Isaac is nervous and tired and makes a wrong turn into a construction yard. That's when they meet up with the mysterious car again. He turns off the camera because getting out of there is more important than getting content. They manage to escape this time, but I have little doubt this was probably the same person living in the old house they explored earlier. They seem to have made an enemy out of this stranger by exploring his house. Hopefully he isn't planning to one day go exploring their houses in return. While this isn't an extraterrestrial, it very much looks like something straight out of a sci-fi film published by the Mastercaster in December of 2020. This group just caught a lamprey, an ancient jawless fish with a mouth made of rows of vampire-like teeth.
We just caught a lamprey in the Jordan Creek right now. Look at that dude.
The parasitic fish is native to the northern and western Atlantic Ocean, and its funnel-like mouth sucks on all types of fish prey, including catfish, trout, sturgeon, walleye, and more. This monster was captured in the group's local creek, but lampreys have also been found in the Great Lake region. Many in the comments are familiar with the lamprey, with commenter John Sparks warning, "Be careful, it will latch onto you." Apparently this thing preys on humans too. On March 17th, 2021, members of Museo del Horror traveled to a derelict building in an unknown city in Mexico, live streaming the entire adventure. Just after beginning their investigation, the group ventures to the side of the building. As they come to some stairs on the side, a faint growl can be heard on the audio. None of the participants noticed it during filming, but viewers were quick to point it out in the comments. It sounds either like a growl or an attempt to whisper something, but it is difficult to determine what. From here, they enter the building, which is hollowed out and falling apart. Nothing of note happens until just after the 40-minute mark of the stream. A high-pitched noise can be heard, almost like a screech or another hiss, albeit longer than the previous one heard. It's also possible that this was the sound of something rubbing against another object, similar to metal rubbing against metal. The last speculation is it could be someone breathing in, possibly one of the explorers, although nobody else seems to be around except Alfondo holding the camera, and he starts speaking before the sound goes away.
Si está bien la distancia, todo está bien.
The team decides to conduct a Ouija board session, which is not recommended for amateur explorers, by the way, to see if they can get any activity. Not long after starting, a very faint voice can be heard on the audio.
¿Hay alguien aquí?
Oh, escuchan.
Have a spot.
It sounds as if there are words in there, but it is almost impossible to make out. The voice can be heard speaking over questions being asked. Could someone be trying to communicate? Soon they get an answer of yes on the board after being asked a question, and the board remains active for some time. When asked if it is a man, it responds no. Throughout the session, dogs can be heard barking wildly in the background. The dogs were rather quiet prior to starting the Ouija board, and now they are nearly frantic. Animals are known to be sensitive of the paranormal. Could they be distressed at what the team is doing? Or is there another explanation? In the midst of the session, by far the most bizarre event happens. Alfondo's attention is called away to a strange light manifesting on the opposite side of the building from where they are. In the opposite corner, it appears as if a flame has been lit, flickering. Suspicious others might be in the building. They call out and make their way to the area. One of the team members shows a few photos she took, and along with the glow of a fire, the windows make it appear to be daylight outside. However, the video camera always showed the windows to be dark. Furthermore, the photo camera was not using a flash, meaning it could not be a reflection. What could this mean? They decide to do a spirit box session, and instantly, the sounds the box makes sound straight out of a horror movie itself. While it is most likely caused by the rapid switching through radio frequencies, we have never heard another session sound as terrifying as this. Alfondo walks with the device to the other end of the building, and throughout hears some disturbing sounds. First, what sounds like someone wailing in distress. The most disturbing capture of the night is what sounds like a child crying out in fear or pain. It's hard to imagine what could have happened at the location, as it appears some manner of horrors still reside there, endlessly crying out in the afterlife. This is said to be a real ghost video from Singapore. A woman jogs down the road when she has a creepy encounter with a stranger who may or may not be paranormal. She doesn't hear any footsteps until he is running away. It's like he was never behind, and when she looks to where he just was, he's gone. Then he passes again and things get even scarier. You could pass somebody twice like this if you ran a wide loop around them, but why he would do this and scare her is something I doubt we could ever explain. I don't think this is paranormal, but I do think acting this way is not normal. I think it's most likely a short film, but there are no credits, and it presents itself as a real ghost video caught on camera in the description. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, fear can take your breath away. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit, Tyler12798 explains that he took this video while he was 12 at his mom's office. Tyler writes, "There were rumors that a ghost named Kevin roamed the place. One day I recorded this. We heard deep moaning coming from a window. Let's see what happened next."
You! Keep open the door! Keep open the door, listen! Okay, now open it! Open! Open!
A wooden door kept slamming and swinging of its own accord. According to Tyler, all the windows were closed when this occurred, so it was unlikely to be an issue of airflow. Some in the comments note that they have never captured the other side of the door on film, so there might have been someone behind opening and shutting it. Tyler claims there was no one. In the comments, Tyler also writes that when he returned from the bathroom, a sticky note on the door read, "Kevin was here." While many insist that outside airflow caused this, we'd like to think it was the Home Alone ghost playing practical jokes. So do you think this has a rational or paranormal explanation? Do you want to play a game? Post it to the Ghosts subreddit by responsible@8836. This guard in Mexico often hears noises at night while on watch. He recorded this one while on patrol. While walking the grounds at night, he heads around the building when what looks like a man's head pops out from around the corner. The guard chases it around the corner, but there's nothing there.
Escucho a alguien. ¡Su puta madre! ¡Su puta madre! ¡Su puta madre! ¡Su puta madre!
The Redditor also posted a frame-by-frame video to better see the figure. Many in the comments are clearly surprised. Some point out there are no feet, while others suggest it's a gray extraterrestrial. Still, others say it looks like it's playing a game. Do you want to play? I suggest that guard heads back in the other direction. While inside the screaming house, YouTube team Moxley's Paranormal World doesn't hear the screams, but they do feel the fear. It starts with a sensation.
See how you can see my shadow? I know you're here, I can feel you. This is one I've never been able to... There's something here. Oh! What was that?
Something was on me, there's a spider on me. No.
Then they hear something.
I'm hoping the camera's picking this up.
A cat ball is triggered in another room, and some of their other paranormal devices go off as well.
Pardon?
Cat ball's going off.
Oh! And again?
My K2's going off as well. What?
Thank you for that.
The K2 starts lighting up as it sits in a chair.
K2.
Are you sat in that chair? Yeah. Is this your chair?
As they're distracted by the K2, a shadow figure sprints past behind them.
Did he want us out? Look at that, it's just a straight red. Mate, I just got a shadow. I've seen a shadow behind me. Do when you just see the outline fly behind?
And they keep hearing a female voice.
This turning on my face, isn't it?
Mate, it's strange, very strange in here.
I know, said it was a female voice that. You know what, right? I can picture it in. It sounds going off.
All evidence points to a female presence lying low in the screaming house. I just want to know the story behind this place. Chris from YouTube channel Sees Crazy Crossroads is sent packing from this abandoned restaurant. He first hears a strange noise in the kitchen.
Sounds like...
He believes it could be residual noise from passing vehicles on the road. It almost sounds like a beehive swarming to me, but then he hears what he thinks sounds like voices.
I want to say that it sounds like a couple of different voices.
I'm not catching that, but I do hear the road noise, which is an eerie wail. He hears the sound again.
Fire cap's not working. I hope you guys are I hope this is picking that up. I mean, that's clear as day.
Well, I'm not sure the mic is capturing what he's hearing. It does capture this next voice, and it's pure evil.
Hello, bro.
I don't blame Chris for leaving at this point. If I heard that, I'd be out of there too. If you tick off a poltergeist, be ready for retaliation. YouTuber Andrew Duffy shares this scary footage of his experience dealing with a resident poltergeist named John. First, he hears something laughing.
Swear to just heard something. Sounded like a laugh or something like that. That was weird.
Did you hear it too? Andrew starts provoking the poltergeist.
Come on, John. Make something happen now if you're here.
And right away, he receives a response.
I know it's you, John. Whoa. What the hell?
He opens the door to find no one there, but one thing is out of place.
Show yourself. We know you're more than capable. Right, that frickin' door's been opened.
More sound is heard from the laundry room.
Let's go see what's happening in here. I'm not looking forward to it, but it's gotta be done. Let's do it. Show yourself, John. Don't be a coward.
Then, as he's heading downstairs, Poltergeist John throws the boot at him.
That's just hit me in the f***ing head, you you
Downstairs, John shows he means business.
Whoa! 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 Holy...
And he won't stand for being called names.
A coward! Whoa! 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 What the f*** was that? Whoa! What the f***? Holy f***! A knife just come.
I feel that Andrew is playing with fire. He should lay off John before someone gets hurt, because since John is already passed on, that someone will be Andrew. Things aren't what they seem in this scary video. Redditor Amanda Loves Rufus 1 posted this clip of her neighbor's house. Watch the counter closely. Something neon blue seems to escape from the counter. Watch again. It looks like a flame bursting upward, but it disappears within an instant. Those in the comments seem to agree, with some saying it looks like gas igniting. Could this be a gas leak? Or as others suggest, a camera glitch? I think these homeowners should check their carbon monoxide and gas detectors, just in case. Things are getting out of hand with this pyro poltergeist. Published by Memoria Sobrenatural Inc. in December of 2021. The spirits first make their presence known in this haunted place via EMF meter. The crew tries to communicate with the spirits and the window shutter slowly opens, perhaps to distract from the fire being set behind them. When they leave the building, they see a dark figure cross a doorway in the firelight. Later, they're back inside and they hear clinking.
Cara, que sentimento horrível, pessoal.
And then a loud bang.
Cara do céu!
The flame they lit earlier goes out suddenly. Then, as they attempt to detect a presence using the EMF meter, the spirits send them up in flames.
Cara do céu, onde é?
Do you think this team finally got the message? This poltergeist couldn't be any clearer. He wants them gone. I don't think I'd ever go back to that place. A Ring doorbell captures some strange activity outside of Mike Crook's house that could be paranormal or a camera glitch. A shadow person walks down the sidewalk, mysteriously disappears, and even though he never emerges from the other side of the bush, you can still hear footsteps that actually sound like they're getting closer to the camera, if anything. The audio also plays weird noises at the exact moment the ghost disappears, which is even more evidence that this frightening moment could be paranormal. Considering this bizarre event was caught on camera around Halloween, I think it was probably edited, but maybe this is proof that there is something supernatural to All Hallows Eve after all. Would you rather see a ghost reflected or see one solidly in front of you? Posted on TikTok by RickyLie27. Ricky is wandering through what looks like a massage parlor when something unexpected appears over his shoulder. The TikToker is talking to the camera as he guides viewers through and doesn't even seem to notice this creepy figure that appears in the window behind him. A woman with long dark hair dressed in white lurks there. It's not clear if the woman is standing outside beyond the window or if this is a reflection of the woman standing inside. I kind of hope it's the former, because if not, she could be right over your shoulder. The Crazy Red Show uploaded an odd sky sighting over the Hawaiian island of Maui that I think needs more coverage and further analysis.
I'm filming that, brah. I'm telling you, brah, they're right there. Holy
Lights in the sky have assembled into a strange formation that does not get closer or farther away, simply hovers without a sound. Looking back, the Crazy Red Show says he still has no idea what these lights were, describing the unexplained event as a surreal moment that, if he had to guess, might be a triangulating satellite system being launched. I admit I don't have much of an idea of what a satellite system looks like, but I would assume getting launched involves movement of some kind. Like I said, these unexplained lights in the sky seem stationary and make for a strange sighting caught on tape indeed. Tell me if you think this is something made by us, because a lot of people think this could be video evidence of visitors from someplace far beyond our world. I personally think it could be flares from a government drill, but it's too hard to say. Have you ever come across a haunted playground at night? This YouTuber has. He describes this perfectly chilling nightmare fuel with even more chilling imagery writing. While driving around in some unknown forest, I found this person rocking on some kind of swing. That description alone is enough to send chills down your spine, but watch the video and you won't be able to get this nightmare out of your head as the person filming sits inside his vehicle, shutting the headlights off and on again at random. The person rocking on some kind of swing is caught in the headlights. When the lights shut off, the next time they shine, the figure is in a different area of the forest. Its disappearance and reappearance are completely unsettling, especially when the figure comes closer and closer and closer until he disappears. Somehow his absence is the most upsetting part of the entire clip. That is, until... And that's where this video ends, leaving us wondering what happened to this unfortunate cameraman. A YouTuber named Dark Corners is exploring the deep web when he comes across a video that he instantly regrets watching due to a possible curse. A nauseating noise forces him to take off his headphones, and even though it's in a different language, he still knows that he has witnessed something he was never meant to see. If you are able to read Japanese, please translate the text into English so we can all better understand. I just wanted to add that this long beep is exactly the same noise that hospital equipment makes when you flatline, which leads me to think that this text could be talking about ending your very life. Let me know if you think my suspicions are correct, or if I was way off with this assumption. Sometimes you can just sense evil in places, sometimes in your very own home. Posted in the very spooky video subreddit by Big Daddy Marco, the Redditor writes that he is quarantined in a haunted house. Originally published to YouTube by Donnie Drunkard, he writes, Since being in quarantine, the paranormal and haunted activity has manifested in poltergeist activity on an almost daily basis. I believe the entity is demonic in nature. Terry explains that this is an update and recap of footage caught on his live stream. He also says that he thinks there's more than one spirit in his home. Using a paranormal tool that captures movement, the recap shows that something is indeed present in the hallway, and its presence is made known on more than one occasion. The kinetic image appears. In the last clip, he tells the thing to leave, and after a moment it does as he commands.
Trespass against us. Shaking so bad right now, man.
It disappears from the monitor. Some in the comments suggest that Terry get a demonologist into his home to take this thing on. What would you do if you sensed, heard, and saw a demonic spirit in your home? Would you stay or would you go? What are you afraid of? What can really make you scream? This entry was submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit. The user explains that the clip was found on TikTok. Footage shows a guy sleeping at 1:16 in the morning with the text, "He snores so loud." According to the video, the next night is shown subsequently. This time, the man is sleeping in a very awkward position, with his arms up in the air. Even stranger, the drawer from the bedside table appears to open of its own accord. A short time later, the man is in a new position, and as he turns over, if you focus on the nightstand, a bottle slides strangely sideways, falling on the floor. The man appears to be suffering from some evil spirit being exorcised, as his body contorts aggressively on the bed.
I don't know, this guy's just being told. You want to shut... Stop. Hey, what the f...
Whoever is taking the video leaves the room, and when he returns, the sleeping man is kneeling in the corner. What's going on here? It is suggested could just be night terrors. Others lean more towards the paranormal, however. They suggest the man is possessed. What do you think? Paranormal activity? Possession? It is certainly baffling, and I think we need more footage to fully solve this mystery. A paranormal investigator named I Am Frankie Speed sets up motion tracking equipment in his house to capture a ghost on tape. After a while, he finds a strange figure creeping up his wall and hugging a mirror. He gets up and shows the mirror. Nothing here looks like a person, at least nothing that I can see, but I think shining the Kinect directly into a mirror might cause it to glitch out. What do you think? Many claim to see a hidden monster in this YouTube video from Australia. Look closely and you'll see what appears to be the top half of a tall furry creature standing among the trees. Some people even claim to see a second similar creature in the bottom right hand corner. Well, I do see what they are talking about. This also looks like it could just be the blackened center of a rotten tree, but I'm just not sure. Let me know what you think this is, and if you believe there is any possibility of this being the legendary Australian Bigfoot. A solid stream of worm-like invaders moves in unison across the forest floor, while a dog whines with fear. Listen to the noises their dog makes, and try to tell me it's not warning them to get far away. There's got to be some kind of logical explanation in nature for this, but it sure looks like the start of a parasitic invasion to me. And when another canine joins in, I can't help but suspect this group has discovered something they'll soon wish they had never come across. Obviously the animals are on guard, but from what exactly is my question? You're never alone on an amusement park ride. This phantom will make sure of it. Published to YouTube by Eli Zix in September 2015, the following footage will have you looking twice. The clip shows 3 women and a man riding the pirate ship at an amusement park, swinging back and forth. At the beginning of the clip, there are clearly 3 women there, but as the video ends, the 3rd woman on the end has completely vanished. Where did she go? Did she fall off the ride? Disappear somehow? Or was she ever really there at all? Some in the comments claim that this girl passed away on this ride 2 years prior to when this video was filmed. This is all hearsay, but who knows? The truth has to be out there somewhere. A YouTube channel called Salamya3Alam is demonstrating a high-flying hobby known as pyroacrobatics when some creepy paranormal activity is caught on camera. Caught in the light of his flaming barrel is a mysterious hooded ghostly figure that hovers against the wall of an abandoned house for a few brief scary moments and then disappears. The video looks pretty real to most because the ghost appears to be the same resolution as everything else and its color does not sharply contrast with the video. This video, however creepy, has one thing that looks wrong. Notice how the video fades to black at 11 seconds. This part makes me wonder if this ghost sighting is actually real.
Look at that. What the heck?
Blake Newdorf is fishing with his dad on a pier in Kelowna, BC when he sees a giant creature off in the distance, at least 60 feet according to his estimate. Blake is sure that this is the famous Ogopogo Lake monster. Apparently, it has some kind of sharp scales, from what he says here at 1 minute and 13 seconds.
It looks like it has spikes.
The camera is not good enough to pick up much detail aside from a basic outline. I think it kind of looks like it could be a piece of driftwood, but I guess at 60 feet long it would have to be a whole tree. Whatever it is, it floats around the bend where the water channels into a small bay. According to Blake, when they went around the corner to follow it, it was suddenly gone. Unfortunately, by that point, they had for some reason stopped recording. If what they are saying is true though, then this couldn't have been driftwood. A man believes the stairwell in his apartment is haunted by a creature that's not paranormal, but not human. He thinks he sees movement and says this is a still image. The image has gone viral, so I wanted to analyze the video.
What is that?
The video does not look nearly as convincing as the image, which is often the case because it is harder to animate than Photoshop. The figure shows a convincing lack of realistic movement as it dips back into the darkened doorway from where it came. So if you've ever seen this popular picture and were wondering what the accompanying video looked like, now you know. A garbage man in New York City leaked this video online to show us a scary side of the industry that we were never meant to see. He needs to pull this dumpster down an alley to the garbage truck. Most of us would walk right up and grab the handle, but the veteran worker does something important first. He kicks the dumpster and waits. That's because out here you can get surrounded by a mob of rats if you walk up to their territory without giving them a heads up. Kicking makes them scatter away.
Come on, bro. Come on. Get your stuff together and get out of here. Get all your boys. Tell all your boys, let's go. Yeah.
This dumpster must not have much food in it because only a few run away instead of dozens like normal. Now comes the hard part.
Now we're going to attempt to move the can.
He gives a sharp tug and lets go. When nothing confronts him, he proceeds. He gets halfway down the alley when something creepy decides to make his day twice as difficult.
Still. Come on, bro. You gotta go. Can't go back in there.
This one is smaller than the rest, but it's stuck around longer than the others and seems twice as territorial. It starts to run away and then it gets another idea.
Where's here? Go.
I'm not sure if he fell over or dropped the camera, but the rat, scared and caught up in the moment, jumped straight at him. It looks like an aggressive move rather than just trying to get away. That rat did not want to give up its dumpster. This is why garbage men are paid more than teachers. Jokes the top comment of this video. I'm not sure if this statement is true, but after seeing this video, do you agree with it or not? And if this is how crazy just one rat acts, imagine how scary it would be to get chased down an alleyway by a whole swarm of them. Talk about a tough and thankless job. The Queensland Police Service in Australia released this seriously scary video on their Facebook page. Wrapped firmly around this poor person's leg is the last thing anyone wants, a large snake. They seem to be employing some kind of tickling strategy that I doubt is going to make it relax. Wiggling my fingers as fast as possible around a snake seems like a terrible move, but I'm also no snake expert. I am absolutely amazed at how calm the snake remains as the officer puts her hands close to its head and unwraps it from this leg. I was assuming it was domesticated until the officer was later told it was wild. Someone tell me what kind of snake this was and why it didn't seem to care about being handled for the first time. Maybe it was simply looking for a warm spot to coil up for the night, or maybe it was someone else's escaped pet on the loose. Paranormal investigator Rochelle G goes exploring this haunted abandoned house and experiences what she calls decades of anger. Built in 1920, this place could never keep a family for more than a few years before something terrible happened to them. Police were always involved. Something about this house makes people upset, volatile. The longer they stay here, the worse it gets. Rochelle can feel the paranormal energy as soon as she sets foot within this haunted place. Abandoned are the families, but not their memories or their presence. She finds a room that's creepier than the others, one that's been barricaded from the inside. Listen closely. What you're about to hear is one of the scariest EVPs ever caught on camera. Somebody has pushed a dresser under the knob of this door, like they wanted to keep a family member from coming in to get them. When Rochelle opens the door, a creepy, disembodied voice floats in her ear and whispers, "Hey." This room looks like a remodeled front porch that was only halfway finished before the family vacated. Above her is an unfinished attic space that makes many people feel creeped out. There's no way to get up there, so she keeps exploring this room and finds more creepy things caught on camera. Dozens of family photos next to an old blue chair. Leaving family photos is weird enough, but why in a giant unorganized pile? It looks like somebody thumbed through them, one by one, while sitting on the chair, perhaps looking at pictures of their family members one last time, while waiting for the police to arrive. It's a creepy thought and we'll never know the real explanation, and when Rochelle tries to communicate, the spirits are too angry to cooperate.
Do you need help?
If this video is real, and I think it is, then this is one haunted abandoned house that should have stayed hidden. I doubt anything good happens to those who dare go exploring its hateful walls. A YouTuber named The Bearded Biologist created a wildlife channel to help people become more appreciative of nature and not be frightened. Let's see how he himself keeps from getting scared when having an encounter that would frighten 99% of most people, no matter how brave they think they are. Barely visible to the untrained eye and easily mistaken as a piece of driftwood is something that would have people screaming and freaking out, but not him. The biologist spots it and wisely turns the other way at 6 seconds. The curious snake makes no similar efforts to avoid him. The biologist seems to keep it distanced and distracted by his paddle, but it's not over yet. The fearless snake follows him for another 10 seconds and then lets him go. I, like you, most likely thought this was definitely a chase, but he says this was not a chase so much as curiosity on the snake's behalf. What he means by this is that it could be much faster and easily catch up to him if it wanted to. He's just being politely escorted out of its territory, which is a characteristic of the cottonmouth snake, aka the water moccasin. Some people say this is a harmless water snake, but he says it's not, and I can back him up on that one. Not that he needs my help because he already has 2 degrees in this field. This write-up from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department says water moccasins are the only snakes that float with their head above the water. They are also venomous and are responsible for 7% of all snake bites in Texas every year. So even though I applaud the bearded biologist and applaud him for trying to make me less afraid of nature, I ended up doing research because of him and freaking myself out twice as bad. Knowing that this venomous snake is showing him mercy, to me is just another way of saying he's at the mercy of a big snake. Sometimes the more you know, the more terrifying things get. Iljin Pudding of the South Korean YouTube channel Ghost Horror Diary has a creepy video with an important message. Iljin wants to prove that ghost hunting is not a men's only activity and that she can be just as brave. She goes exploring an abandoned building all by herself, a haunted place where paranormal energy pours forth from the entrance. Now this lone ghost hunter starts to catch some very interesting things on video.
여잔데?
Next, she captures this. A scary smiling ghost face makes her recoil in horror.
항상 찍히는 문에서 많이 찍히더라고. 근데 오늘은 안 찍히는 게 맞나봐. 뛰다닌다고? 야, 일로 와봐. 뭐야?
She presses on down a hidden hallway teeming with paranormal energy, and at the top of some stairs is a really weird painting that she zooms in on. Something about this place, the painting, the room, feels haunted.
이게 이상한데요.
No more than this, she says, and walks back down. I would like to know more about this painting if anybody happens to recognize it, or anything about the scene it's portraying. It looks like somebody in knight's armor is raising a shield in the air at a podium with someone kneeling behind them, but that's all I can tell. Oh, and there's one more thing that's scary. On the floor of another room is a handwritten sign with this message that freaks her out. Who left it here and what does it say?
아니, 이거 한글 맞아요?
Ready for some peekaboo with a little more boo? Posted to the r/ghosts subreddit by Leo Creations. This Redditor's video was allegedly filmed at an abandoned house. The footage shows a man exiting his house at around 3 in the morning. According to a digital clock on the wall, dogs are barking outside. He zooms in on a row of houses on the opposite end of a gated area. For a moment, everything is quiet, ordinary, until it isn't.
Entonces, a ver qué pasa. Se ve todo muy tranquilo, la verdad. No se ve nada anormal. Mira, se asomó alguien. Se está asomando alguien en la escuela.
A creepy dark figure peeks out from around the corner of a white house. You can see its head vividly, peeking out before pulling back. He does this twice like he's playing an evil game of peekaboo. What is this creature? And do you want to play? A group of ghost hunters are exploring a notoriously haunted retirement home in Ohio at 1 a.m. when they manage to find something strange and unsettling.
To the bathroom. Here it is again at half speed.
One of the ghost hunters barely manages to catch this fleeting shadow while turning around. The room to the right is completely empty and nobody is inside, plus everybody else is in a different section of the house. It doesn't look like the camera is simply adjusting to different lighting conditions. So there really is absolutely no reason for a shadow to be on the right side of the screen like that. To me, it looks like something is possibly making a quick escape. A man in India has caught some scary moments on video when this happens to him at 2:22 a.m. That could have been done with a string, but this wasn't. Tell me if you think this was real or just acting, because it kind of looks like something paranormal actually might have done that to him. Sylvian Nicholas has a motion sensor camera that turned on momentarily to catch this strange airborne entity as indicated by the green box. Take a look again in slow motion and tell me if this was a spirit orb, a giant speck of dust, a bug, or something else altogether. This place is 100% haunted. YouTuber Tomcat0031 captured a shadow figure streaking past the door on a floor that was empty at the time. You need no instruction on where to look. This one is hard to miss.
Right, this is filmed in there. Right, both me and Joe see the shadow go across this room here. Bub! Somebody's in there. Man, I tell you what, you're doing a good job.
The way it moves doesn't seem natural, and you don't hear footsteps. It's almost like it's gliding past.
Bub! Somebody's in there. Man, I tell you what, you're doing a good job.
Notice that you see the darkness move across the crack to the left of the door, and then you see a larger black darkness to the right of the doorway. The former looks more solid to me, which suggests that it's a solid figure, and the latter looks like a shadow being cast by that figure. Lastly, in the crack to the left, you see a figure move again in the other direction. This makes me think that whatever is there made a small circle around the room, and the way the light falls casts a shadow on the far right-hand wall for a moment. But whether whatever is there is paranormal or not is the real question. This TikToker has documented her neighbor harassing her for months. The following clips are evidence of the terrifying stalking, posted to TikTok by Maddie Panic. Maddie writes that she lives alone, and she's reported this neighbor several times. In the first video, you can see her neighbor through her peephole, waiting outside her apartment door. The video shows a man wearing a hooded sweatshirt, getting very close to the door as though he's listening in. The man's mouth is moving, but what he's saying is inaudible. He quietly knocks on the door. After no one answers, the man backs up and waits there. Later, Maddie captures what we can assume is the same man trying her doorknob. You can see the knob shaking, but the door is locked. Maddie looks out the peephole again, and you can only see the top of the man's head, like he's down low, trying to hide from view, or maybe even trying to use tools to get in. You can vaguely hear him say he knows that she's here. Well, this video is scary enough. A second video turns our fear up a notch. The man apparently lives next door to Maddie, and he tried to smash a hole right through her wall. She captures the damage on video and reassures viewers that cops are on the way. Maddie turned this TikTok account into pure documentation of this stalker's behavior. Her latest video shows she is safe and now in a new apartment. Maddie's advice to other individuals who find themselves in a similar situation is to document everything and protect themselves. This was truly one creepy neighbor. Some urban explorations go from 0 to 100 pretty quickly, and this is one of them. Published to YouTube by Chris Hopkins in June of 2020, while exploring an abandoned naval base on a cold, windy night. As soon as Chris and his crew walked into this building, they heard a loud bang right beside them. Still, they decided to explore the rest of the base, no harm done, until they were getting ready to leave. After walking through the woods, as they were squeezing through a hole in the fence to get to their car, they heard what Chris describes as a Bigfoot, or a ghost, chasing after them. He says it again sounded like it was right next to them. The demonic roar is heard at least 2 more times after they get through the fence. Chris says they were running so fast that his friend lost his phone in the escape. Of course, other than the creature with big feet, there are other theories. Some think the roar came from a wild pig or a goat man, and some agree that it does indeed sound demonic. Any other ideas? Those ones already have me terrified. When you're searching for ghosts, beware, you might just find one. Posted by DNA TV in September of 2019, this video is not for the faint of heart. The description reads, Lexi returns with Dave to one of the most haunted and active locations we have ever visited. From the moment we arrived, things kicked off and didn't stop till we left. To this day, this is some of the most intense paranormal activity we have ever encountered. The gripping 25-minute video keeps you on the edge of your seat as the pair explore the abandoned site. They note that the place has been slashed up and destroyed since they last visited. At the end of the video, they hear some noises that cause them to freeze in place. They decide to go and have a look. Throughout the video, some in the comments note hearing voices of disembodied entities. At one point, they hear a footstep. Using an EVP, they ask the ghost if that was him walking next to Lexi. They get a yes from the ghost.
If that was you, can you say yes?
If you want to walk and talk with ghosts, this haunted site is a good place to start. A creepy stranger in a crazy mood is apparently trying her best to freak out the owner of this doorbell camera. With all the weird things she's caught on tape doing, she walks towards the doorbell camera while making a face, and she turns around when she sees the headlights of an oncoming car. Clearly aware that she's doing something wrong and afraid of getting caught, she steps away as the car passes, but soon she's back at it again, this time chomping at the camera and then doing some weird movements with her arms. Maybe she's got the wrong house and thinks she knows the owner of this doorbell cam. Maybe she's trying to get their attention and wants to be let in. She doesn't necessarily look dangerous, but doesn't appear to be in her right mind and could probably change moods at any moment. So I don't blame the homeowner for not opening the door and seeing what she wanted. I doubt it was anything good. A man is traveling down a road in Indonesia when his path is blocked by a small child. He stops just in time, only to find the person has vanished. It looks like a little girl with slumped shoulders and all of her hair in front of her face. He gets off his motorcycle to look around for her, perhaps worried that he knocked her back into the woods, and then this happens. She appears for only a split second and then disappears. I understand why he would get off of his motorcycle. If he was worried about her safety and wanted to look for her. But if this were real, then why did he run away instead of climbing back on his motorcycle? Scared or not, I think most people would have climbed back on their bike and taken off. So I'm not so sure about this one. She also kind of looks like the girl from The Ring. So maybe this is just CGI. YouTube team HD Adam Paranormal finds themselves crying from fear in this mysterious abandoned village. That's because it's not totally abandoned. In the darkness of this derelict hut, they start to hear noises.
Kalk gidelim, kalk gidelim.
Ne oldu?
Kalk gidelim.
Ne oldu?
Kalk gidelim lütfen, kalk gidelim bak. Deprem oluyordu ya, depremin farkında mısın?
They ask the spirit to prove its presence.
Burada olduğunu kanıtla. Cin!
With the light back on, the presence continues to shake the room.
Duvardaki şeyleri başka bir şey zannettim ben.
When they ask it to move the door, the spirit complies.
Önümüzdeki kapıyı hareket ettirebilir misin? Cin!
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. 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 Kapıya doğru bak. Kapıya doğru bak.
The team thinks the entity playing around with them is a genie. I think, genie or not, whatever is here will soon be done playing. Some people are afraid of nuns to some extent, so imagine how a nun spirit might terrify someone like that. The Ouija brothers entered the UK's most haunted nunnery in this scary video. Early in their investigation, they hear this spooky sound.
I'm just walking, I'm just having a look if there's anyone there. There's a humming.
The humming happens again shortly after.
Hold on, the humming just happened again.
Later, they hear something rustling very near them.
It sounded like someone... See, there's like debris there on the floor. I don't know if it was like debris falling on the floor, but it was like movement. I don't know if something like that.
Was that just some of the debris from the wall falling off? Or is someone invisible standing in this corner? Considering how spooky this place feels, I personally think a ghost nun is there. Say your prayers. All of the other rooms of this abandoned church on Long Island look normal, yet the chandeliers on the middle floor are going crazy. Jay Brennan claims to have seen shadow figures all over this video too, so be sure to tell me if you happen to see them. Just the fact that he isn't willing to go inside at all shows exactly how creepy this situation really must have been. The lights continue to go on and off. For some reason, at the 3-minute 35-second mark, they seem to get even more intense, almost like they're feeding off his mortal energy just from standing so near. He returns the next day to prove that this church really was abandoned and no longer in service. After all, no active church would leave their courtyard in such a state of disarray. But that's not all. Jay Brennan did some major research on this church and discovered that it had 3 separate fires and was struck by lightning twice. He provides the links in the description of the video so you can read them for yourself. Maybe these flickering lights were caused by one of the spirits from the cemetery next door. A father and son are bonding outdoors when they make a discovery in a puddle that's so bizarre they have to bring it home and make a video of what they've caught on camera.
So I kind of looked at the little creatures that were in there, and my first glance, they're round and have a tail just like a tadpole.
The mysterious creatures have a long tail and 2 eyes that are especially visible at 1 minute and 22 seconds. Baby horseshoe crabs were my guess, but when I googled a picture it looked different. So what do you think they are? What do you think a demon looks like? Ask YouTube team Paranormal Voyages, who spotted one in an abandoned house. While performing an essay session, one of the team sees a red light in the next room.
I swear I saw a red light. Excuse the language, sorry. I saw a red light back here. Like if somebody was lit up a cigarette and took a puff.
Then the demon seems to be playing around.
What are you waiting for?
What the heck? I told you there was something. Is there like a feather floating right here? It looked like a white feather, and it was just like, and it's like right here, it just floated right past me.
Is she just seeing things?
Do you feel like I see like a little shadow like coming out of the bathroom? It's on the floor.
Another of the crew puts on the aura goggles, and now he starts seeing things the others can't.
Is there a sphere over in that little corner over there, like about the size of a ball? There's something round.
There's no sphere over there, from what I can see.
Then a terrifying message is given to the team.
You're a demon, you're
It
neither.
just said I'm a demon.
What?
Fudge, I just said that.
Who said that?
Holy
You're not alive? Yeah, we don't laugh out here.
And the team member wearing the aura goggles sees something crazy.
Oh my god, I seen something move. Oh, that was wicked. Oh my god, you should have seen that. Oh, whoa, these are freaking awesome. Oh my god, I'm shaking.
Sorry, I laughed.
Oh my god, you ought to. Holy that was so cool.
I wish we could see it too. I'm definitely feeling it though, and it feels evil. Daniel lives way out in the country, and rather than paying someone to remove the leaves around his house, he chooses to burn them instead. He stands at the edge of a controlled fire and takes this quick video.
Oh yeah, lots of fire. Oh yeah, lots of fire.
Off the distance, a two-legged creature about the same size as Daniel sprints away in the opposite direction as fast as it can. Keep in mind that Daniel lives out in the Oklahoma wilderness and has no neighbors. I really can't think of any forest animal that looks like this, so maybe the controlled burn accidentally flushed out a rare humanoid creature. With no other footage of the creature, we will probably never know what it truly is. As the legend goes, the Saratoga light appears on haunted Bragg Road, a dirt road in southeast Texas. Many witnesses have observed the ghost light, with some believing it has paranormal origins due to a legendary railway incident in which a railroad worker lost his head. He is now believed to search for it in the night, carrying his lantern. Published by The Vortex in October of 2018, this scary video sees the man's search for the mysterious Saratoga light. During their 8-mile drive along the creepy ghost road, the paranormal investigators eventually start to see a beam of light. They stop along the dirt road and get out to capture the light, which they think might be a car, and it does turn out to be a vehicle as they discover when they drive ahead. But at the same time, they said they caught a mysterious light behind them which disappeared, a bright glowing red one. The eerie light doesn't seem to be far off. Many in the comments claim to have seen the light firsthand along this road. YouTuber 5th Gen Texan Texas Forever writes that he saw it years ago while walking along the road in the dark. He explains, "It appeared suddenly right in front of us, zipped away and came back really quickly, then disappeared again right in our faces. While this glowing red doesn't appear to zip away, the many confirmed sightings of the Saratoga light certainly make me consider believing." A YouTuber named Daniel finds a graveyard that is different than most others. It is in a bad state of disrepair, but beyond that, some of the graves are just plain missing.
Doesn't look like it's 6 feet deep either. So cool of it here.
The graves could have simply been relocated, but if that were the case, then I think that the grave sites would have been filled back in. For some reason though, this graveyard has perfectly dug up graves with absolutely no evidence of a burial. There's no casket and no headstone. It's not like these plots were recently dug for a future burial either. Vegetation is slowly creeping back over them, and they are covered with a light bed of dry leaves. Whatever the explanation for the absence of these graves, one thing is for sure, clearly a lot of time has passed since they've been uncovered. Ghost hunter Simply Sarat has a profoundly paranormal experience while exploring a haunted house in India. He sets a wind-up toy on the ledge of a window as a way for a ghost to communicate its presence. They are kind of goofing around when suddenly things get very serious and very creepy. They think laughter is coming from the window, but then they hear more scary stuff from above. They run into the room with the wind-up toy, only to hear more noises following close behind. Running footsteps sends them rushing out of the house, and as they flee, the wind-up toy moves by itself. He holds it up to the camera to make sure the paranormal evidence is caught on tape. He has one hand on the camera and one hand holding the toy. There's no tie for him to have wound it up. And the wind-up toy somehow continues to move on its own as they run into the forest away from the abandoned haunted house that has scared them so terribly bad. A YouTuber in Belgium has a ghost in the window, and when I say in the window, I mean literally.
Smell right though. Strange. Go away. What is it? Go away. Spirit.
He's not running his finger up the blinds because there's a heavy curtain in front of it, so tell me if you think a ghost is moving objects like he says.
No, man.
Considering this is the only paranormal video he has, and the rest of his channel is about nothing but guitars, I think it could be real. With 2 Barbie dolls in her hands, this little girl is as happy as can be. Her family is recording what should be a loving memory for them to watch over and over again with glee. Instead, if any of them ever watch this video again, it will be in sheer horror. The girl is in the middle of an improvised skit when her father calls something out to her. I think he is telling her to come eat dinner or something like that. Based on what happens next, it looks like the girl wasn't the only one who was listening.
Sara, ven conmigo.
Tapo!
As soon as the girl says something to the effect of "not right now," the Barbie snaps her head back and gives her a glare. Maybe the doll doesn't appreciate the disrespect towards her father, or maybe it's done being played with for right now. Either way, the girl throws both dolls into the air and runs away. Of course, this could be a fake video, but I'm not sure how you would make the doll's head turn like that. For one thing, the girl's hand isn't anywhere near the doll's head, and for another, you can see by looking at the doll's hair that no string has been tied around its head. Most people in the comments of this video think that it's real. Here's a freaky sighting. Imagine you're playing guitar with your friends when something decides to pay a visit. Published by Navigon in November of 2007, this creepy video shows some dudes practicing in a bedroom. One is playing the guitar, the other is singing, and the third is recording the session. But as it turns out, there's a fourth uninvited guest nearby. As they continue to play, the friend filming the session takes a broader shot of the singer, and towering in the doorway behind him is a seemingly tall man, standing sentry and staring into the room. In the comments of this video, David F.E. writes, "It's a humanoid being about 7 feet tall, not a ghost. Many people have reported them before." Whatever the case, in the moment, the friend filming doesn't spot the humanoid. The three continue their session without any reaction, and the next time the cameraman pans over, the figure is gone. They must have spotted the humanoid later in the playback, a humanoid that was so close he could have touched them. What would you do if you saw this over your friend's shoulder? This camera caught movement where there was none, at least upon first glance. Redditor Lexi shares this mysterious video to the Paranormal Video subreddit. Keep an eye on the back bathroom. Did you see it? Something peeked in and out of the bathroom. And yet, according to the Redditor, no one is in there. Some in the comments think there's a squatter hanging out in the Redditor's ceiling, but to me, this looks pretty clearly like a shadow person. A YouTuber named Monster Mike Fishing may have landed his biggest catch yet, and it's nowhere near the ocean. His friend Jacob plugs the pipe so that their target can't escape, but now he has to reach into the murky waters to pull it out by hand. As soon as he announces that he's okay, this happens.
Are you okay? I'm okay. Guys, no! Oh my god!
At 6 minutes and 12 seconds, the snake opens its mouth, and Jacob is barely able to hang on with one hand. He almost drops it and then quickly catches it again before it has a chance to attack. Now Jacob grapples with the snake and they wrestle to a stalemate. He can't hold this position much longer and calls to his friends.
I need help!
Only when he is pulled out of the sewer do they realize how massive this reptile really is, and how much danger he was truly in, and how risky this truly was. Austin is nervous with anticipation over exploring the haunted Windsor Hotel in Georgia, a 24-hour paranormal investigation challenge that will leave all of them freaked out soon enough. A young person once fell down an elevator shaft in the early 1900s, and the place has been haunted ever since. Her ghost has been seen in hotel mirrors. Objects often move on their own. Austin isn't sure if he believes the paranormal rumors until weird things are caught on camera they've left running overnight. Keys and a wallet fall off the dresser while everyone is asleep. Both objects are planted securely on an even surface and have no reason to drop unless it was a ghost or a string. I don't see either, so I'm not sure what to think about this video at this point, but things are creepy so far. One of them wakes up and goes over to investigate the bizarre occurrence. What's caught on camera next is downright strange. As they are picking up the wallet and keys, a lamp clicks off. The noise sounds exactly like the button on their lamp.
You heard, listen. You can literally hear the flick. Something had to literally physically turn that off, bro.
So there's no doubt that a lamp turns on, but the question or not is if it's the one that's in front of them. If there were 4 beds in this room, then I feel like there would be a second lamp behind them off camera. Maybe they were turning that one off to make the clicking noise. Still, an overwhelming number of people agree this is paranormal. 682 to 15 as of the time of this video, and given the hotel's haunted history, I trust in what they saw and wouldn't be surprised if it was real. YouTuber Om Vlogs stayed in this haunted hotel for 24 hours, and they didn't get a wink of sleep. It all began with the closest doors. They slam closed but then open again. They open wide enough to reveal that there's no one inside. Later, they believe something is in the bathroom. Watch for the shadow in the corner. While the YouTuber thinks that this is a shadow person, I think it could belong to him. Watch it again. Could it just be the way this light falls in the bathroom? Share your opinion in the comments.